For thousands of years, humans looked up at the moon and wondered what it would be like to stand there. Was it made of rock? Could anyone ever reach it? For centuries, it seemed impossible. But in the 20th century, during a time of intense scientific competition and technological breakthroughs, humanity finally achieved one of its greatest dreams. A man would leave Earth, travel through space, and become the first human to walk on the moon. After World War II, two powerful nations competed for technological dominance, the United States and the Soviet Union. This competition became known as the space race. Both countries wanted to prove their scientific and engineering power by achieving major milestones in space exploration. In 1961, the Soviet Union shocked the world when Yuri Gagarin became the first human to travel into space. This pushed the United States to set an even more ambitious goal, landing a man on the moon. To achieve this incredible mission, the American Space Agency NASA launched a series of missions known as the Apollo program. Scientists, engineers, and astronauts worked for years to design rockets powerful enough to travel nearly 384,000 kilometers. After several missions testing equipment and spacecraft, the moment finally arrived. The mission was called Apollo 11. On July 16, 1969, a massive rocket called Saturn V launched from Kennedy Space Center in Florida. Inside the spacecraft were three astronauts, Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, and Michael Collins. After traveling through space for 4 days, the spacecraft reached the moon. Armstrong and Aldrin moved into the lunar module called Eagle, which slowly descended toward the moon's surface. On July 20, 1969, the lunar module successfully landed on the moon. Moments later, Neil Armstrong climbed down the ladder and stepped onto the moon's surface. As millions of people watched on television around the world, he spoke the famous words, "That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind." For the first time in human history, a person stood on another world. Soon after, Buzz Aldrin joined him on the surface, while Michael Collins remained orbiting the moon in the command module. During their time on the moon, they collected samples, took photographs, and planted the American flag. They spent about 2.5 hours walking on the lunar surface before returning to the spacecraft. After completing their mission, the astronauts launched back from the moon and reunited with the command module. On July 24, 1969, the crew safely returned to Earth, landing in the Pacific Ocean. Their success marked one of the greatest achievements in human history. The moon landing showed what humanity could accomplish through science, determination, and teamwork. From ancient dreamers who gazed at the night sky to astronauts traveling through space, the journey represents our greatest adventure. And it all began with the historic step taken by Neil Armstrong. Here on Past and Present Tales, we explore the fascinating stories that connect history to our modern world. If you could live in any historical era we talked about, which would it be? Tell us in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe for more journeys through the past and present.